9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Try to surprise an old friend.
I'm sorry.
I know. Try to exercise on a regular basis. A healthy body is a healthy mind. And learn to appreciate art.
Hey, we're pulling the front bumper off the 96 Mustang GT, and then we're going to pull off the rear so we can paint them. Let me turn this around. There's a lot of good videos on YouTube, and I'll put links in the description that show you how to pull these bumpers off. We're pulling it off, I told you, because the paint is faded, but in the clear coat, I mean, it's peeling back. And some people are going to be asking, well, why not paint it while it's on the car? Well, you can, but the real thing is I can't get all the way underneath here and all the way underneath these points here to get really good adhesion. And, you know, the way people go to pressurized car washes now, if you have any place that you don't have good adhesion to, it'll grab it and it'll blow it off eventually. So that's why I'm pulling the bumpers off to paint them. And just giving back and doing that's how to do a really nice job on these rubber bumpers. You pull them, or at least pull them back away to where you could get underneath stuff, and you can still leave it on the car, but I'm pulling completely off the car. All right. And like I said, there's a bunch of really good videos on how to pull these bumpers. I'll put links on that. So right now I'm focusing getting them off. I can tell this bumper, if there's somebody out there, I really need to know, because I've never really worked on an SN95. A couple little things, but not this. These original rivets, I want to know, right there, this one and that one, were they aluminum from the original ones, or were they plastic with the pop up and pull out? These were aluminum. I found. I had to drill them. They came right out. But I just want to know personally, from the factory, were these plastic push-ins or were they aluminum, like they use on a lot of stuff for door handles and Crown Vics and stuff? Anyway, I'll continue on. Let me get these all pulled. We'll get this front one pulled, and then we're going to go to the back one, pull it. Then I'll show you what we're working on in the quarter panel. All right, we've got the front bumper off. I washed the car so I can get all the major dirt out of the wheel wells, stuff like that. I'll go to that last. We pull the rear bumper. Rear bumper is really easy to get off. The front bumper, I'll show you on the bumper itself when we get to it. There could be a little catch to it. I mean, it looks really easy on YouTube, but there's a couple of little spots that can be catchy. Here's the rear quarter, okay? We're gonna go down the angle here. Looking down the angle, I found a little bitty ding right here, a little bitty, some type of little impression here. And then when you see the circle, and then you see the dot, that's a ding. The dot is the center of the dings. And then I found a light crease here. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, you can see it right there. And then here's the other major crease, all right? It goes here, but it did not get into this edge, and it did not get into this edge. It's just right here, and it's there. There it is, you can see it. Now, she asked me yesterday, hey Adam, are you going to just going to basically put Bondo in it? No, that's not how I'm going to do it. Now, I could use a metal studs on it, you know, and pull it that way. Or I'm going to try something I've never done before. I ordered on Amazon. It came in today. A PDR kit, a cheap one. I don't know if it was $50, $60. I'm going to try it on that crease. So all I want to do is get the crease out and maybe pull the ding a little bit more, and then I'll grind them. And basically I'm PDR, and I think they call it push to paint, to where you push it good enough for a body shop to take it. I'm not a PDR guy. I was a body man and painter. I was mostly a custom painter 40 years ago. I'll be 62 now, so I'm using my skills again, and what I learned to paint in. I've done my Mustang, and I'm doing this Crown Vic. I originally grew up and was trained in acrylic lacquer, and then there was base coat, and then I was one of the first guys to do what you guys call 2K now, where back then it was base coat, clear coat. Okay, so I'm back in the game and just for my own stuff and to give back to people. So we'll learn together a little bit. If I find something a little tricky, I got backup guys. I got guys everywhere, but this is not going to be a problem. All right. Anyway, let me get to this and figure out this PDR stuff, and I'll show you where we're at in a little bit. Open the box. Amazon came today, and this is what it comes. I think this kit was like $65. They had some for $39, however, so I chose to go in between. I don't even know what the hell's in this thing. Okay, we got gloves. Yeah, we got gloves. And we got gloves. I know these gloves are not going to fit those hands, but hey, it is what it is, right? This is thing, it's a hot glue gun, and this one's supposed to be, it gets up to, I don't know, 100, more than a normal one, supposedly. Got a few of the spreaders to be able to take off the glue tabs. So I gotta learn and play with this stuff too. Oh, mini little suction cup here. I'm just showing you, hey, you're looking at it at the same time I got the crap. Here's another little suction gun. Here's the glue sticks. What else we got here? Oh yeah, this is a bridge tool. So it's one of the pullers. You lay it across and then you can pull. Well, we may try that, This one, goodness, stuff one hand. This one came with the slide hammer. And, oh, look at it, I got a fancy little, it's got a rubber end and polyurethane end, little hammer. So, oh, some more glue sticks. Oh, a crunched up manual instructions. We'll look at that. And, normally us guys don't look at it. Oh, here's a puller. This one does the ratchet type. Oh, the big dent puller, the big suction cup. Look at that. And let's see what else we got. Oh, it looks like we have the rubber tipped, I don't know what this is proper name for it. You guys would know. It's you go around this outside of the dent. And then we have glue tabs, all different sizes. More glue tabs. Bigger glue tabs for bridging. What else we got? Oh, there's a bigger, oh, they gave me a microfiber towel. Isn't that nice? There's another to pull out a long crease. I know one of these crease ones is going to be good for it. And there's smaller ones, all different types of shapes. Some more glue tabs, another big one. And, oh, a bottle to put the isopropyl alcohol in. Little spray bottle. Yep, there you go, that's the whole kit. And give me a little bit of time to figure this crap out. And then I'll go out there and make that pull and see how it comes out. And I'll show you when we're making the pull. All right, I decided to use the bridging tool. Oh, and about this Amazon kit, please, before someone jumps on me, this is just a DIY kit. This is not to buy this kit and become a professional out here. I'm using this because I didn't want to, I wanted to play with it, okay? So I'm really amazed at the strength of this glue. I've never done this before, and I've been watching a ton of guys, and I think it's got its place, and a lot of these guys are really good on YouTube. And I'll you know what? I'll put a link of a couple of guys I really like. They do some heavy damage stuff. Anyway, what I did was I used a bridging bar one because the pull tab was very slender and it went right in that crease. I've got pressure on it now. I used a hammer that came in the kit, all right? I used a rubber side to go on the outside of the crease. I tap very lightly all the way, both sides, all the way around, releasing tension on it. And then I've watched it from the side, and as I crank, I can see it pulling. All right, so it did pull the metal. So I'll release it, and I can't tell where I'm at right now. I know I need a little bit more, but I'll release it and maybe pull the tab more this way. I still see a little crease right there, and maybe pull it back a little bit more this way. And I'll show you when we're done. I'm pulling it just so I can, there will be a light coat of Bondo on it. It's just called pull to paint. All right, here we are. We just made a few little pulls with that. I have a very shallow spot here and a very shallow spot there. The crease is gone. You know, if I was using a stud welder like I was gonna try to do, you know, how I would normally do it, I could get these out. I'm gonna work them just a little bit more, just a little bit more before I put any putty on it. Just be a skim layer. All the door dings are gone. I took them out with the grinder as far as the heat. And then I just have to put a light film there, and we'll just go on. I'm gonna try to, let me see if I can pull these just a teeny bit more. All right, we had our first wipe of a lightweight Bondo. I'm using gold. I think it's Omni Gold. It's a lightweight filler. The Bondo is so thin you could actually see through it, you know. And this is just cut down with 80 grit, a rough cut. Now I'll move over to 180, finish out sanding it, feather everything out, taper up, and prime this area. Okay. Well, the panel's I sprayed polyester primer on it, which is basically, everybody calls it spray on Bondo. It's a black car. I want to make sure it's perfect. I worked everything out with 180. The longer the block you use, the straighter it'll be. That's just an FYI. So I have Durablocks. They've got all different sizes in them. And so I sprayed a guide coat on it. I'm going to let this sit, and we'll work on it tomorrow. But I wanted to tell you about something I ordered off of Amazon, and I really like it. This is just taped up for priming, okay? Not to paint the car. I buy these pre-taped rolls here, and it's got tape on it already, and it's got plastic, and the plastic, I don't know how wide it is actually, about 3 feet wide. I'll put a link in the description of it, what I buy. I like it. It's fast, goes up. I also use the regular paper. You know, don't use newspaper, okay? Newspaper's not made for automotive finishes. It'll bleed through. I know a lot of guys, you know, still use newspaper. This stuff is cheap. You can get it at Home Depot, anywhere. The blue stuff I get off Amazon. And when I go paint the whole car, I'll cover the car in one big piece of plastic, cut it out. Now, I will tell you, there's a guy that I watch that's really good. This will be it for this week's part of the video. Next week, I'll show you the finished priming and taping, and I don't know. Next week, we may be done with this car because I got to paint the 2 bumpers too. Or I'll make it the following week. Plus, I'll tell you who the winner is here in a minute, and because I'm going to tell you also the winner of the tool we posted last weekend. And let me turn this. Now, another thing I'm gonna also put in, and I'll put it up, the words up here, of 4 guys I really like to watch. Okay, now I'm an old guy, old school painter and stuff, but there's one guy, his site is called Paint Society. I think his name's Brian. Fantastic guy. I mean, if you want to learn how to paint newer cars, he tells you how to do stuff in your house, but I'm telling you, he is first class, and what he preaches is clean, clean, clean. Before I do any work to a car, I wash it out first. Just a habit we had from back in the day, and apparently he does the same thing, because you don't want dirt, mud, or whatever. Even when you're doing Bondo work or whatever, you don't want dirt that was in the wheel wells or around. It's just better you wash the car first. All right. Another guy is Farway, is a Hispanic guy in Texas, I believe. Fantastic. He does a lot of completes, and you know, I just like the guy. He's always showing you different paint guns and stuff. Another guy, Sprayways. He is fantastic. I'll tell you his forte. He does cars and metal flake and stuff like that. I'm not into that kind of custom anymore. I don't like doing heavy flake stuff, but to each their own, okay? Now, he is fantastic at doing, we call it Rondo. He calls it that. I don't know if that's really what it is. It's Bondo mixed very thin, and he uses all different types of materials, and he repairs dashes like an old Chevys and stuff like that. And you need to just watch it. I mean, he makes custom door panels, like guys want big speakers in them, and center consoles, paints cars. He shows you how he paints over decals and does stuff. Just a very, very good younger man. And then there's another guy, I think he's True Grit. If I get it wrong, forgive me, but I think it's True Grit. And he does out of a small shop, and I don't know what state he's in. He's a painter. You can tell he's a painter. He's not a collision man or anything. But that guy can lay down pearls and all kinds of stuff. I mean, you know, that's a different world. You need to know something. Production work is one thing. Doing repairs on cars is another thing. The other world of custom with your pearls and your candies and all, that is a different world. Okay, it truly is, and it takes special people to do that. I never liked doing candy, so my heart wasn't in it. I've done them and all, but my heart really wasn't in it because I knew that wasn't a long-lasting paint job. And there's another guy out of Texas, I can't remember his name. If I find it, I think it might be House of Candy or whatever. I think he's down in Houston or Galveston area. He's always on Instagram or whatever, and he's freaking does some candy jobs out of this world. Anyway, enough with the baloney stuff. I'll put a link to each one of those guys for you to watch and learn something from. If you want to watch them, watch them. But Paint Society is for everything. He does completes, but he also does, he's a perfectionist at tri-coats, production, blending, stuff like that. And also one guy I'm forgetting, the Gunman. I think he's from Australia. Yeah, of course he's from Australia. I like watching him. He's just, forgive me guys, with his accent and all, he's just, I like to have a, you know, I'm not a big drinker, but I like to have a beer with the guy because he's into it. And I like seeing how they do stuff around the world. You know, America's not the, you know, whatever, there's guys all around the world that can really paint, all right? You know, go to Italy, there's guys that paint Ferraris and Jaguars or whatever. I mean, just the basic thing about, let me turn this around. Basic thing is prep. Getting it ready for the paint. Everybody wants to jump to the paint. You paint something and the body work wasn't good or it wasn't straight. I don't know how many custom cars I go to and I look down the side, I'm like, whoa, Atlantic Ocean. But, you know, the paint was fantastic, but the painter says I was hired to paint. And then there's body men, all right? And then there's collision men. And then there's restoration guys. It's just a, you know, world out there. You have to find out what you love. If you love, you'll do it well.
Life is short. Try to do something new every day. Dance. Try to dance as much as you can.